If you feel like your Pinterest account is not growing as fast as it should be, or you're posting consistently and you're just not able to crack the 1 million monthly views, then it might just be your pins that are letting all your efforts go to waste. So trust me when I say this is the perfect video for you, because I'm going to be showing you exactly what pins took me from 0 to 20 million monthly views on my Pinterest accounts. By the end of this video, you're going to have everything you need to create a banger Pinterest pin from just your phone as a complete beginner. I'll even be sharing with you some free templates with my most viral pin styles, so you can go off and quickly replicate these pins yourself. Now, for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Gia. I'm a full-time digital marketer and content creator, and I currently own 4 Pinterest accounts that are getting over 32 million monthly impressions. So now that we've gotten to know each other, let's get right into the video. First and foremost, before you even think about designing anything, you need to understand exactly what it is that makes pins viral. This knowledge is crucial because it's going to save you hours on end of creating batches of pins that just simply don't convert. In short, pins that go viral are ones that make people feel something. To put it in a simple way, the pins that go viral are the ones that evoke some kind of emotion out of the viewers. Think about it, what do you use Pinterest for? If you're like me and you spend 2 to 3 hours plus every single day on Pinterest, then you're probably using Pinterest to feel inspired. You're probably looking for new outfits, hairstyles, room inspo, recipes, skincare products that you might want to try. That's literally you looking for inspiration, and 90% of other people on the platform are doing the exact same thing. Regardless of whatever niche you're in, the only way to grow a Pinterest account is by creating relevant and useful content. You need to create pins that have a purpose, that are relevant to your audience, and most importantly, are aesthetically pleasing. This is going to get people to click on the pin, save it, interact with it, and that's what's going to push you out to the masses. If you look at some of the Pinterest pin templates on Canva, you can see that all of the images are HD, they clearly highlight a topic, and they match up to the text perfectly. One thing that's an absolute no-no that I've noticed a lot of people who are posting their own content on Pinterest do is that they use low quality images. And I'm talking about the lighting being bad, the image being grainy or blurry. Those are absolute no-goes, and they will never do well on Pinterest. If you decide that you want to post your own pictures on Pinterest that are from your camera, your phone, whatever device it is that you use, you want to make sure that they're up to scratch. If you're not going to be posting your own content that you've created, just know that there's a whole bunch of libraries where you can use free non-copyright images in your Pinterest pins. So there is absolutely no reason why you should have a low quality image in your Pinterest pins. You can use Canva's library, you can use Pexels. Honestly, if you wanted to get creative, you could even use Midjourney to create your own custom AI images that you can use in your pins. The graphics are always going to be the first step of your pin, which is why you need to make sure you get the images right. Something that I like to do is type the topic of my pin into the Canva templates so I can get some inspo on what images would work well with my design. This is going to give me a good idea of what pictures I need to take or generate to be able to create this pin that I have in mind. The next thing that you need to consider is pin sizing. Now, back when I first started, I was posting a lot of square pins on my Pinterest, and that's because I was taking content from my Instagram and posting it directly to Pinterest. This was when I first ever started Pinterest, which was probably 2015, 2016. And let's be real, a lot of things have changed since then. If you take a look here, this is official information from Pinterest. This is on their creative best practices. And they say that the ideal format is a 2 to 3 aspect ratio. So this is 1000 by 1500 pixels. The reason is so that your pins don't get compressed in the feed like this, which ultimately means that you're taking up less space and it's hurting your chances of being seen. Like I said earlier, what I use to design all of my Pinterest pins is Canva. So if you create a new design and you type in Pinterest pins, it will already give you the format that you're supposed to use. By the way, I'm not sponsored or even an affiliate for Canva. This is genuinely just what I've been using for the past couple years to design all of my graphics. That's including my banner, my logos, my thumbnails, everything. But yeah, moving on, the next thing that you need to consider when you're designing your Pinterest pins is the text that you're using. If you're marketing or selling something on Pinterest, you want to be very careful and deliberate about the amount of text you're using, the fonts, everything. You want anyone that's coming across your pin in their algorithm to immediately know what it's about. You want them to be able to read the text clearly even before they actually click on the pin to make it larger. And obviously it needs to look appealing. In fact, while we're on that topic, the main thing that you want to consider is how legible your pin is before people actually click on it. Like I said, you need to remember that most people that are on the Pinterest platform are viewing it from their phone. That's 82% of people on the platform, to be exact. And with that information, you need to understand that the sizing of the text and most importantly, the fonts that you decide to use are going to be a make or break for your pins. I recommend that if you're going to put any small text in your pin, the absolute smallest size that it should be is a 14 to 16, and that the headers or subheaders are as big as they need to be able to be One mistake that I noticed a lot of people make in their Pinterest pin designs is that they try and use the super swirly and curly fonts like these ones. And I'll admit that the fonts do look really, really good when you're close up, but from a distance, they're an absolute nightmare to read. As nice as the pins might look with the swirly fonts, most people are not going to take the time out to try and figure out what the hell it says on this pin. So 9 times out of 10, what they're going to do is just scroll straight past your pin. If you absolutely insist on using the swirly fonts, you need to make sure that you can see it from a distance. In fact, another thing that you need to consider is to not use too many characters in your pins. If you put too much text, it's just going to look super busy and people are not going to be bothered to read it. So just make sure that you're only putting essential pieces of information on your pin. Now, I've seen so many different types of pins in lots of different niches that go viral, and one thing that they all have in common is that they have keywords or buzzwords as the heading or subheadings. When I say keywords, I mean terms that are highly searched in their niche. So say for example, you're in the fashion niche on Pinterest, your keywords might be outfit, style, trend, thrifted, for example. So you'll see a lot of pins with highly searched keywords, for example, outfit ideas or fashion trends 2024. Buzzwords on the other hand are slightly different to keywords. So in simple terms, these are words that work in absolutely any niche. They're very broad and they're words that naturally grab people's attention. An example that has a huge psychological appeal is the word free in any Pinterest pin. Not only does this word immediately draw your audience's attention towards your pin, it also makes them want to collect whatever freebie is in the pin, so they're more likely to actually click on it. Some other examples of keywords are amazing, new, easy. Again, these all have a lot of psychological appeal that will cause people to want to click on your pin to find out more. Something that you should be aware of is that any of the text that you decide to use in your design is read by the Pinterest algorithm. So make sure you're being very intentional about what words you're using in your pins. The Pinterest algorithm is very smart, so make sure you're using it to your advantage. The last tip that I can give you when it comes to creating a good Pinterest pin is to be very careful about the colors that you're using. One thing that I've said in multiple other videos is that you don't really need more than 2 to 3 different colors on your pins, and you need to make sure that all of the colors work well together. The reason for this is because you want your pins to look cohesive and well thought out. This reflects well on you because if your audience sees the pin as professional and well designed, they're more likely to trust it and trust whatever product you're redirecting them to on the pin. A good idea would be to keep a consistent color palette on your Pinterest account. This helps build brand familiarity, so your audience will be more likely to recognize your content every time they see it in their feed. And also it's one less thing that you have to think about every time you're designing your pins. As I said earlier, the pin designs that I most frequently use that go viral are going to be linked down in the description, so you can go ahead and customize them for your own Pinterest. I've also linked my Pinterest monetization bundle down in the description. So this includes an up-to-date Pinterest guide, my exact Pinterest planner template with ChatGPT prompts to help you come up with more content, a full Canva crash course, and even more of my favorite Pinterest pin templates. And now you have everything you need to create the best Pinterest pins possible. So I just wanted to share some final tips and tricks with you on how to actually maintain your views. The first and most important point is to constantly strive to understand your audience. You will only see success on your Pinterest when you actually start to put your audience's needs and wants first. Putting the time into understanding your audience is going to help you create better content that's actually going to help them, and in turn that helps your business. Another really important point is to see what's working. Something that I like to do is every couple months I'll look at my top performing pins on my account and I'll just double down and create even more pins in that style since my audience clearly loves them. Don't be afraid to reuse old Pinterest pin templates that went viral, because as long as you change the design a tiny bit and make some tweaks, Pinterest will recognize it as brand new and fresh content, so Pinterest can register it as new content and push it out the same way that it did the first time. By following these steps and really paying attention to what your audience wants, you'll be able to make Pinterest pins that people want to see and share, and that's exactly what's going to help you go viral. And with that being said, this concludes today's video. If you have any questions at all, leave them down in the comments. I'll be sure to reply. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.